Hey, what's up everybody? I wanted to do a quick video on flying drones in Japan. Some people have been asking me certain questions. Where can you fly them? How can you fly them? What is the laws? What's the regulations? Can I bring my drone to Japan? Things like that. So, quick video, basic rules, basic laws to follow. It's really simple. It's not like other countries where you have to do all this papers, and like Thailand you have to register and wait 10 days to get approval, things like that. It's nothing like that. You can buy a drone today and fly it the same day. But there are specific rules you need to follow, and they're actually common sense. If you ask me, I think they're all common sense. There's nothing out of the ordinary rule-wise. But another thing also is all these rules can be overlooked, bypassed, adjusted, however you want to look at it, if you have special permission. If you apply for specific permission, if they're shooting a movie and they need drones, of course they'll allow you to do certain things, but you have to get that permission. Getting the permission, getting all that paperwork done is all in Japanese. It's very difficult. It's kind of hard. I mean, they're really strict about that, especially if you're going to try to do something in Tokyo and the major city areas. So that's not what I'm talking about today. That's a totally different thing. If you're going to do anything like that, I suggest you talk to DJI and they can walk you through it. They can help you get the special permission. For me, I'm just talking about for us civilian type people that like to fly drones for fun. That's what this video is about. It's not about the professional side. So the drones, you can go online, you can look this all up. There's tons of stuff to explain it. I'll post something. So that's kind of the rules. It's really simple. So I'll go through them for you. Height-wise, you can't fly over 150 meters. That's about 492 feet. But on your drone, when you go into your system setting, you can adjust it to go to a certain height. So if you just say don't fly over about 120 meters, 130 meters, then you don't have to worry about it. It'll stop and it won't go any higher automatically. Safe, no problems. You don't really need to be over that height anyway. I mean, there's not really much up there to see other than causing an accident with an aircraft. So keep it under 150, you're totally fine. No airports whatsoever. That is a no-no, and that just is common sense. Why would you want to risk all these people flying in airplanes and helicopters for a drone? Just stay away from airports. Most of the time, the drone won't even start up if you're in an airport zone. The apps are pretty geo mapping, so it'll say you're too close to an airport, and the motors won't even kick on. So just stay away from airports, military bases, places like that where drones would be a definite no-no. You're supposed to keep about a minimum of 30 feet away from civilians, people that aren't with you. Like if you're shooting your friend, you're fine, but if there's somebody walking on the beach, you're supposed to keep at least 30 feet away from them, which is about 30 meters, which is about 98 feet. And that makes sense. If you're walking down the beach and you see a drone following you, that's kind of weird. If you're with your daughter, that's weird. If you're with your girlfriend, she's in a bikini, or your boyfriend, and you got a drone following you, it's kind of like, hey, what are you doing? Are you taking pictures? Or it's awkward, and it makes people feel awkward. So they will call the cops on you. When I go to Hayama, I call the cops. I tell them I'm coming, what time I'm coming, the location I'm going to be. I give them all my information. They know me now. And I go down there and I fly. And yes, once in a while, somebody walking by will see me flying a drone. And just because they're concerned or they just want to call the cops or whatever reason, they call the cops. Cops come down to the beach. They come up to me. I show them my ID. They say, oh, okay, you've called. You're fine. Just stay away from the people. And that's it. It's done. It's over. The only problem with that is you only get about 15 to 30 minutes battery time, depending on the drone you're flying with. So giving the officer your license and talking to him and giving the information, if your drone is hovering somewhere, that's a good 10 minutes battery gone, which sucks. That's like the worst feeling. Like, come on, seriously? So when I see them coming, or if I kind of feel like there's, somebody's coming, I'll bring the drone closer and I'll land it and, talk to the cops and then save the battery kind of thing. Another rule, no flying at night. It doesn't matter if you have lights on your drone, if you got a spotlight, there is no flying at night. Like I said, there are circumstances where this can be different if you apply for it, but for the regular people, no flying at night. The new Mavic Air 2 has a light at the bottom of it. It's really cool. I've yet to use it because I can't fly it at night. So, another thing is you have to keep the drone in the line of sight at all times. You can't fly behind trees where you can't see it. You can't go so far out that you can't see it. 120, 130 meters, I don't know. It might be a little hard to see. So 120, 130 meters might be a little too far out to see. I don't know. I think, yeah, but you're supposed to keep the drone in the line of sight at all times. No flying behind things or buildings or trees or anything like that. Another rule is no transporting goods. You're not allowed to carry anything or drop anything. like flying over and you want to drop candy to a bunch of kids, that's a no-no. You can't carry anything on your drone that's not supposed to be on the drone. If it's part of the drone, then yes, that's fine, but you can't add any carrying systems or anything on it. That's a no-no. You're not allowed to fly in any parks or gardens around Tokyo and other cities. I believe the same laws. So if there's like it's a local park or a garden, a flower garden, tea garden, whatever it is, you're not allowed to fly around there. Those are restricted areas. No major cities like Tokyo, Yokohama, Osaka, Nagoya, any major city. I think it's like 4,000 people for every square kilometer like a ratio of population to the size. You're not allowed to fly, which if you go into the DJI map, it'll show you can't fly here. This is too populated. It gives you all the red zones and the blue zones and the green zone, so you can figure that out pretty much. If it's a major city, you're not allowed to fly it. That's just it. And no flying over festivals and events. You've got, like, if you see a parade or the Japanese traditional festival or outside where they're playing the drums and stuff, you can't fly around those. And that just brings up the other rules where 30 feet away from people, blah blah blah, no flying over people, things like that. I mean, it's common sense. If something happens to a drone, you go and you hit somebody in the head, you cause a lot of problems. And no flying like restricted areas, like governmental, like the Emperor's Palace or Parliament or military bases. Anywhere that you know is not a good place to fly, then definitely you can't fly there. And I think the fine, if you break any of these rules, they can fine you up to $5,000. That's up to. I mean, it depends on the fine. I've never heard of anybody being fined yet because it's not really a huge problem, but that is the law. They can fine you for, if you fly the drone over the Emperor's Palace or something, you get caught, yeah, they'll probably fine you. I know there was a guy who flew the drone in Shibuya intersection one time, like last year. He just, a tourist just took the drone, flew it up to get some video. The cops came up and said, no, you can't do that here. Bring the drone down, and he brought it down. There was no issue. He didn't know. So that's the rules. I mean, those are the basic laws of Japan of flying a drone. Nothing too crazy, right? I mean, it makes sense. Don't fly around people. Keep it, at a certain height. Keep your eyes on it. I mean, really common basic rules. Now, other countries you have to register with the FAA and things like that, and that's, I'm sure, a pain in the butt, but not in Japan. Now, if you want to find some place to fly, I go to Hayama a lot. Hayama is the beach area, and they allow drones down there as long as you tell the cops that you're coming. They'll let you fly. You can go to Mount Fuji, certain areas around there. Now, if there's a place with a sign that says no drones, I don't think I need to tell you this, but I'll go ahead and tell you anyway. It means no drones. Simple. Even though you're up in the mountains, or you're up at Mount Fuji, or at Mount whatever, if it says no drones and you just can't fly a drone there, go find another area. I mean, some people that own the land, or some people that, their shrine, their temple, they just don't want you there. They don't want drones flying over to mess with their customers, or to just, it's a sacred area, so they don't want pictures of it from the sky. I don't know the reason behind it, but that's just the rule. And if you think you can fight your way out of one of these, like no fly zones or don't do this, you'll lose. There's no fighting your way out of it. The cops will come and take you down, and they can confiscate your drone and charge you $5,000. I mean, why would you take that chance? So, find the places that you can fly. I mean, there's a million places online. You can go Google search what's the best places to take, footage of drones in Japan, and it'll give you a huge list of places to go. You do have to go out of the city, so yes, that will be one issue. So if you don't have a car, it'll be a train ride. Transporting the drone itself, you can take it on a plane. I believe last time I flew, they made me put the drone in the luggage, and I had to carry the bags on the carry-on. Or the batteries, I'm sorry. I had to carry the batteries on the carry-on. So, but yeah, they let you take the drone anywhere. I've taken my drones everywhere. For the most part, I mean, that's it. A lot of these drones, I mean, they're coming up with new updated apps and stuff that tell you, hey, we recommend these areas. DJI is working on one right now where it'll tell you, hey, these are good areas to fly your drone at. When you're flying your drone, this is just kind of advice, I guess, for some of you, if you do fly a drone. If you're flying a drone, you see people kind of showing interest, be cool about it, offer to, let them fly it or something. I mean, I know you don't want to take a risk with, a $2,000 drone, but just the more like you act like you don't see them or you're doing something shady, they're going to call the cops. And like I said, it's a waste of battery time when the cops come. And as long as you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, just try to show them that drones are fun. They don't know what drones are. They don't see them a lot. To them, it's spy equipment or something like that. You got to remember, in Japan, the cell phones, they have to make a shutter sound when they take a picture. That's the law here. So any cell phone you buy in Japan, when you take a picture with your cell phone, it'll go. The reason behind that is because of the perverts on the trains taking pictures of girls' skirts and stuff like that. They want you to be able to hear it. Now that's their law. That's the way they see things with cameras and stuff like that. Is they don't like things being unheard or unseen. Now, when you have a drone flying over your head, they don't know what you're taking pictures of. To them, that's a concern. What are you taking pictures of? Are you a pervert trying to get some footage of somebody in a bedroom or something? They don't know. So try to ease their concern a little bit. Invite them over, show them the screen, talk to them, let them ask you questions about the drone. Lower their concern issues a little bit, and that way they relax, and then they won't call the cops, and you'll be okay. And that's my biggest advice. When I'm on the beach and I'm flying or I'm somewhere and somebody walks by me and they show a little bit of interest, I will talk to them and ask them if they want to fly. I mean, the drone is high enough, they're not going to do anything to it anyway if they just want to move it around a little bit. And usually they'll be like, oh, no. And then they'll say, so how far is it? And I'll be like, oh, it's just right there. And you could tell when some people are like, so what are you taking pictures of? I'm not taking pictures of anything. I'm just practicing flying, or I'm getting pictures of the ocean. And when you go to the beaches, you'll see a lot of windsurfers and surfers. And, we try to offer them, hey, you want some footage of you surfing or windsurfing? That way it gives us practice, me and my friend. We'll go down there and shoot them surfing or whatever. Just it helps us, and it gets them footage that they would never get because a drone, they can't take pictures out in the ocean. So they're happy, we're happy. And that's a option for you if you wanted to try something like that. I think for the most part, that's about the biggest thing. Those are the rules. Those are the regulations. There's nothing too crazy. Now, like I mentioned before, if you want to do something special or you're working, a lot of people ask about a license. That's another thing, a license in Japan. You do not have to have a drone license. No, it's not necessary. It's not a requirement. You can fly without a license. Now, what the license does do for you, if you want to get one, which they're pretty expensive here, actually, like $2,000-$3,000. I saw some schools doing it. You get a license, and that just says that you're a professional at flying a drone. So you can kind of be paid for the service. So you can be hired by a company. But being a foreigner, getting those, filling out paperwork to get the drone to fly in certain areas and stuff, it's extremely difficult. There is no reason to get a license unless you're going to do this drone stuff as a profession and you're really serious about it. Then yeah, a license wouldn't hurt, but it's just not necessary. If you're going to be paid for your services and you're going to be working for a company, then yes, they're going to request a license from you. So that's the only reason you would really need to get a license. And that should be about it. They have a lot of, I know DJI does a lot of seminars and, little talk things, let you try out the drones and stuff. If you like a drone, I suggest you check it out. Go to one of those places and fly it a little bit. They're really simple. I hope that's about it. I hope it helped out some people with the whole drone thing in Japan. If not, then let me know if you have any questions and I'll try to answer them for you. Well, thanks for checking it out. Thanks for listening.